Wow, after that introduction, what are you going to do? I have to say that Chuck has been a dear friend for these 40 years. He didn't say how long it's been, but we met each other in 1975, and we've been friends all the way through 2015. I'm not sure it's going to end through tonight, but the reality is that to have friends, it makes a big difference. And Chuck talked about many of my awards, and I'm very glad he did talk about that. But that's not what I'm here, and that's not what I want to talk about. I think that a lot of people understand the awards and what they mean and how I've been very gifted. But the people who mean the most to me are the people who raised me. My grandparents, my grandfather and grandmother, who taught me how to eat everything, possums, snails, anything that moved around Merced, California, where I was from, in the rural part of it. And none of my grandparents or my parents ever finished high school. It just wasn't in the cards for them to be successful there. But my mother, who's passed away, and my father who's passed away, they had this sense that our son is going to be something and somebody. And what makes this program Year Up so great is that it takes people who a lot of folks have said you can't make it and say, yes, you can. And you can, and you have done that. And I want to salute you, people who in high school or middle school or in elementary school, you had this sense that I just can't make it, but if I stick to it, I will. And Year Up is one of those programs that makes me very happy to be able to say that it makes a difference. And I want you to think the people, my grandfather and grandmother and mother and father, they couldn't give me money. They couldn't give me a car. They couldn't give me a lot of comfort, but they gave me this spirit of opportunity. We're going to be there for you and with you to make things happen. And my father grew up in Alabama in the early 1900s. It was very hard for a black man to grow up in Alabama. My mother grew up in Arkansas. It was very hard for somebody black to grow up in Arkansas. And I know I'm talking about race, but I have to tell you that there are people who didn't have what I have today who made it possible for me to be who I am and where I am. And I think about that how difficult it is for parents to both celebrate that you've achieved. And I remember going to Stanford University, and neither parent had ever gone to college. And so it made me understand how important it was. I was not just going there, I had to be successful there. And I did. I graduated in 3 years thinking I'm smart. I thought I was smart. Graduated in 3 years, and I thought I could use my fourth year. And they said, no, look right here. I said, I know I got a 4-year scholarship. Read it different. I said, it says a 4-year scholarship. I wanted to use my fourth year to get a master's degree. I said, no, sir, read it closely. It says a 4-year undergraduate scholarship. Oops, I had made a mistake. And I had to take out a loan of $2,500, which didn't seem like a lot of money. It doesn't seem like a lot of money to folks then, but it was a lot of money to me as a kid. And I got the master's degree and then decided to go to Harvard Law School. And that's when I met at Stanford. First time I arrived there in 1975, I met the woman, in 1971, the woman who became my wife, the mother of our 2 children, and the grandmother, and I'm the grandfather of 4 granddaughters. That is what life is all about, making the next generation. I'm looking now, every week we talk to our grandchildren to make them understand, whether they're going to be doctors or lawyers or dentists or business or whatever they want to do, they can do it. And that makes a big difference in terms of what you are able to do. As I think about Year Up and think about where I am today, I want to be remembered not for the awards, not for the travel, but really remembered for somebody who was lifted up by others, who saw there was some hope in me. Doing things that we can't do now. I remember going to our public library every Saturday And some people as old as I am will remember that, right? And I would take out 20 books. You can't take out 20 books now, but I took out 20 books every Saturday because that was the way of imagining that I could be somewhere else, on the train, on an airplane, just imagining that I could be somebody someday. You can do it. You can make that difference, and that makes an enormous amount of difference. There is words that I heard spoken at a church many years ago when I was a young man, and they, in a sense, crystallized what I have to say today. And the words are very simply this: I don't feel no ways tired because I've come too far from where I started from, and nobody told me that the road would be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lift up the next generation to make sure they don't feel tired. They're going to make that path, and they're going to believe that they can do everything they can do. And that's what Year Up is about, lifting people up, making sure they can succeed, and making sure, as you've heard the wonderful presentations today already, that people are able to move up, move forward, and move in the right direction. Thank you so much for honoring me, and thank you for making me part of Years Up. Thank you very much.